Hi everybody, and welcome to the Steve Lyon Show. I'm DJ Foster, joined by Grand Valley State head baseball coach Steve Lyon. Coach, thanks for joining us this week.
Good to be here, DJ.
Well, a GVSU championship is under your belt. Not only the regular season championship, but the tournament championship, as you won that this past weekend. You're now 41-14 overall. It's your seventh GVSU tournament title in the past 9 years. An interesting weekend for you, though. You played Wayne State 3 out of the 5 games you played. You went 4-1. You won the if necessary game on Saturday in offensive fashion. We'll talk about that later. What does it mean, though? I mean, your seventh tournament title, so you win the regular season championship, you get to 40 wins again, and then you win the GVSU tournament title. What does that mean to you?
Well, we've talked before about the regular season being the conference championship and how it's a marathon and it's difficult to do, and we're very, very proud of that. We didn't want to really go into a conference tournament and backslide at all or let anybody else take a little bit of the glory away from winning the conference championship regular season. So I think it means a lot. And the fact that we put a stamp of approval, so to speak, on our regular season title certainly means a lot. And it shows that our guys can play in a tournament setting, which is different than playing a regular season. Mm-hmm. You've got to go in and win 4 games or 5 games, whatever the case might be, to win a conference tournament championship. And we were able to do that. We stumbled a little bit. As you mentioned, played Wayne State 3 times. We stumbled once against them, but certainly came back in the championship game and proved that I think we were the best team in 2012 in the GVSU.
Well, and it was a young team. That's what I talked about at the beginning of the year, to see how these guys would develop throughout the year. And some of the youth maybe showed in the first game against Ashland. You played them on Wednesday. You were down 1-0. You didn't have a hit till the 5th inning. Then you end up you tied it at 1. Then Giancarlo Brugnoni hit a big home run in the 7th inning to make it a 2-1 game. He added 3 more insurance runs in the 8th to win 5-1. Kyle Scapel pitched very well. However, he's a senior, so we were worried about him showing his youth. 6 innings pitched, 1 run allowed, and Jamie Potts and Cowan both had 2 hits. So even though you trailed early and there was probably some butterflies there, you came out with a good 5-1 win over Ashland.
Yeah, they've got a very good pitcher who was really on that day, and as you mentioned, no hit us through 4 innings, and we came out and finally broke up the no-hitter in the 5th. But Brugnoni's home run was huge to give us a little bit of a lead. And then those 3 runs in the 8th inning really gave us a breathing room in the 9th. But Scapel pitched well, and our bullpen held up as it has all year at the end. So it was a good way to get the tournament started. Ashland has always been a good program. They always give everybody trouble, including us. And they played hard, but we were able to scrape up a victory. And it's always best, it's almost necessary, not always necessary, but it's great to get into the winner's bracket after that first day, and we were able to do that.
Yeah, and you stayed there on Thursday after defeating Tiffin 6-0. You scored early. You had 5 runs combined in the 3rd and 4th innings to open it up a little bit. Garmin pitched tremendous. Almost got a complete game win out of it. He pitched 8 2/3 innings. Obviously no runs and 4 hits allowed, so he was tremendous. Mike Nadrotowski had 3 hits. He was 3 for 5. And Kevin Zach and Steve Anderson both had 2 hits apiece.
Yeah, that's the top of our order. And they were tremendous, getting on base, creating things as they've done all year. And Garmin pitched great. I wanted him to finish. We sent him out there in the 9th inning thinking we were going to give our bullpen the night off. And he got a couple outs and then gave up a couple hits. And his pitch count was up there, 110, 115 pitches, which is stretching it for Ryan a little bit. And we certainly want him healthy for the regional. So we ended up taking him out. He wasn't real happy about coming out and not finishing the game. Not at anybody in particular other than himself. Just not being able to finish, but he pitched tremendous, and to get a combined shutout was great in a tournament setting, and put us in the winner's bracket after Thursday, and we were sitting good.
Yeah, so you go to Friday, you play Wayne State for the first of what would be 3 games against them. You were down 4-3 in the 8th, though. I mean, there was definitely some moments there where it looked a little shaky, but you scored 3 runs in the bottom of that inning to win 6-4. You closed it out in the 9th. Your bullpen was tremendous with Corey Rademacher and Brad Zambron. Only 2 hits allowed in nearly 4 innings, 3 2/3 innings. Rudinga was 3 for 4 with a couple of RBI. Zach was 3 for 4. Claypool had 2 RBI. So a lot of contributions from a bunch of different guys to push you into the championship game.
It turned out to be a game of the bullpens. Both starters did okay. They had a little bit of an edge going into the late innings. We both had gone into our bullpen at that point in time. And our bullpen is one of our strengths. And Rademacher at first, and then Zambron to finish, pitched extremely well, as you mentioned. and we got to their bullpen a little bit. They brought some guys in that didn't put out the fire, and we were able to score some runs late, end up with another come-from-behind victory, which we've had a lot of this year. Speaks to the character of this team. So, beating down both 2-0 teams at that point in time put us in great position going into Saturday. Someone was going to have to come back and beat us twice, which is difficult for anybody to do, but we felt confident with our pitching that we were going to be able to finish it off on Saturday.
You did, eventually.
Yeah.
Saturday, Wayne State, you played them twice because first game, you were down 3-2 top of the ninth. Giancarlo Brignoni hits one that maybe still hasn't landed yet, hits a solo home run to tie it up 3-3. Go to the bottom ninth, Wayne State gets a walk-off RBI single. So you lose 4-3, you have to come back, half hour or whatever the wait was in between and play again. And you guys came out to play. You're up 12-1 after 2 innings. You scored 5 runs in the first, capitalized by the Giancarlo Brignoni grand slam in that inning. 7 runs in the second, so it's 12-1 after just 2 innings. You end up winning 21-6, so Wayne State missed the extra point somewhere along the way.
Right.
But, just tremendous numbers. You scored in 6 of your 8 at-bats. You didn't obviously bat in the bottom of the ninth. 21 runs on 22 hits. Brignoni had a grand slam and 6 RBI. Nadertowski had 5 base hits, which you don't see that often. Robinson, Zach Anderson, they all scored 4 runs apiece. You probably were a little disappointed in the first game loss, but you certainly came back and played and did what you had to do in game 2.
It shows the ability of this team to come back, and not only within a game but within a day. It was a tough loss. Anytime you have a walk-off victory in the other dugout, as they did in the first game in the bottom of the ninth when they scored that run, it's difficult to watch the other team celebrate. You have a half hour to recuperate and recover and get your mindset back to playing that championship game. Our guys certainly were up to the task. As you mentioned, we jumped all over them early. Giancarlo's home run in the bottom, I guess the top of the second, or the bottom of the first, after they scored a run, put us up 5-1, and then when we scored 7 in the bottom of the second, it was just a matter of Chris Whitney, who was our starter that game, going out there and throwing strikes, making them earn everything they got. He did that. He did a great job. Gave up, I think, 3 or 4 runs in his 5 innings, but we had such a big lead that the only thing that's going to hurt you at that point in time is, walking guys, not playing defense, those types of things. Just throw strikes, trust your stuff, and that's what Chris did. And it was good because we got to bring in Kyle Zagaric and Cody Westerheis, who haven't pitched a lot, but going into the regional, we might need them. So it was good to get them some innings. They both pitched 2 innings and were relatively effective, so that was good. So looking back on it, maybe it was good that we lost the first game. At the time, we wanted to get out of there and head home,
right,
of course, with the championship. But looking back on it, again, it showed our ability to come from a devastating loss to a big win. And then some of the guys who haven't pitched a lot got a chance to throw, and that's always valuable going into a regional tournament.
Definitely, and that's where you're going this upcoming weekend. You're the number 2 seed in the regional this year. Indianapolis is the number 1 seed, but you're going to be playing at Eastern Michigan University, so Wayne State, the number 3 seed, will host that. You will play number 5 Rockhurst on Thursday at 6 p.m. The other games will be number 1 Indianapolis versus number 6 Lewis, and then number 3 Wayne State versus number 4 Northern Kentucky. So you're back in the regional again, the 11th straight year. You're one of only 2 teams in the country in all of Division II to make 11 straight NCAA tournament appearances. The other team would be Tampa. Talk about what that means to you, and then just kind of give us a brief preview of what the weekend's looking like. It's a double elimination tournament for 6 teams, so hopefully you're still playing all the way until Sunday.
I hope so. It's a grind. It's a grind when you get into a 6-team tournament, but getting back to the 11 straight NCAA tournaments that we played in, I'm very proud of that. One of the things that I wanted to do when I came to Grand Valley 14 years ago is to develop consistency in the program, not have a good year and then have a couple bad years or just average years. So I think that speaks for itself in the fact that we've kind of created a culture around here that the guys who come to play at Grand Valley are coming into a program where you're expected to win, just like a lot of our sports here at Grand Valley. So we wanted to make sure that we develop that program, and we have, with a lot of help from administrators and coaches and great players that we've had. So I'm very proud of that. One of the more proud or best things that I've done since I've been here, in my mind anyway. So, and then getting back to the 6-team tournament this week, it is difficult because all 6 teams are very good, or they wouldn't have been selected.
Right.
or they earned their way in like Indianapolis and us did. The other 4 at-large teams had some great wins during the year and had a great year. All of them are 35 to 40 wins, which is great for a college baseball season. So we're looking forward to going out and competing against good teams, making sure that we continue to try to get better and do all the little things right. The first game against Rockhurst, I'm sure we're going to be facing a good pitcher, as all these 6 teams have. Their number ones are going to be good, so we're going to have to manufacture some runs. And then behind Scapel, who's a very good pitcher on our side, we're going to have to play defense behind him and not give them any cheap runs, and then make sure we stay in the game, and then hopefully at the end we can come out on top again. Like the end of our rotation with Zambron is really valuable.
Right.
Not everybody has a great closer, and with 16 saves, it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
In a college season, I'm thinking he's on the road to being an All-American this year, which he certainly deserves. So if we can get the lead 7th, 8th inning, we're pretty confident that he can come in and hold that lead.
Yeah, definitely. That's and the winner of this regional obviously goes to the Division II World Series in Cary, North Carolina, the following weekend. So hopefully you'll be heading there after some wins this week, and we wish you the best of luck. Congratulations again on the GLIAC Tournament Championship, your 7th in 9 years, and your 11th straight NCAA Tournament appearance. Congratulations.
I appreciate that, DJ. Thanks.
Thank you for joining us. And thank you for joining us here on the Steve Lyon Show on the Grand Valley Sports Network.